Hey Dom, this is Dave Decide. Today we have some interesting tea. This one involves when Jungkook came back from Qatar and a hotel. We also have a funny moment where Jungkook gets teased and shamed, and then we have RM talking about how he's changed and is different. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Go grab his implant, his spring mug merch, and let's get into it. RM recently just dropped his album and it's bomb.com. It currently is performing very well, and he just released the single Wildflower, which literally puts me on a different planet. RM's rap, Eugene's voice, so good. We do react and fangirl over the music video and song on Patreon. If you want to join us over there and have some fun, I will link the Patreon in the description. But armies have all been streaming the album, and the album actually ranked number 7 on Spotify for its debut. This could definitely either go up or stay around there, as RM hasn't fully begun promoting it yet, and with the several amazing artists on the track, the songs could even get a slow organic growth from outside the fandom. Of course, growth or ranking isn't the only metric that matters when it comes to if a song is actually good or not. The ability for the song to resonate with you, and the ability for the song to just feel good for the listener. And the lyrics. One of the songs that was being talked about and was very shocking to people was Change Part 2. The original Change, I believe, came out in 2017 and was not really about a girl, but more so about the world changing. However, Part 2 was about a girl or a past relationship that RM may have had. So perhaps this relationship took place anytime between maybe the writing for the song in 2016, and then he had most of the album allegedly done last year, so 2021. The lyrics got armies riled up, with people saying, how could you have RM's heart and then break it? I don't know if people are joking, but I think it's easy to look at a celebrity who is very well liked by many people and think that a relationship with them will be easy, and the only concern you would have is if the celebrity would leave you. Chances are a lot of celebrities who really care about their work aren't going to be out partying and stuff, so their concern is actually if you'll leave them because you have more time to date other people, not them. But also when you get to know a celebrity, you get to know them as people, not as the celebrity. And you get to know their traumas or their little or big quirks that you may think are weird, and most of their insecurities. And when you break all that down, they may be exactly like the same personality as some of your exes, they just are famous. It's basically possible for someone to date a celebrity like RM and fall out of love with RM just because the two were not compatible, and because RM might be so busy he may not have noticed the incompatibility. Aside from the shock of the fact that RM seemingly is rapping about a girl, there were parts of the song that talked about how RM has changed a lot. He talked about how the old interviews don't represent him anymore, and even reading the old wikis and stuff like that, he doesn't recognize that person. He also talked about how love changes and how people change, which makes this song so refreshing because it's true. The only way to change and grow is through pressure, and if you have a lot of pressure put on you like RM, you can completely change in just a week, let alone a year or two. While likely their personality changes a lot internally, outwardly, and on camera, a lot of that persona has not changed as we've known them. There's a saying among people and theories from those who study celebrities that says that the age in which you get famous is the age you are mentally stuck at, because you very quickly adapt and learn that that persona in which you were famous at that age is the persona that gave you the highest reward, so you keep perpetuating that persona. So it's rare to see celebrities like BTS who have grown a little bit with the times and with ARMY. You can definitely see that with their live streams, they definitely seem more relaxed and a lot less tense during their streams. A recent stream where we saw Jung Kook, J-Hope, Jimin, and V all in one stream together was being talked about, and it was so funny. The members were being their usual self, and of course every single time they stream, it's a bit of a celebration. So Jung Kookie baby decided to whip out the old champagne, and he went over to the kitchen area and we all heard a loud pop. J-Hope heard this too and wanted to be funny, so he made a joke to Jungkook saying that I heard a pop, did you fart? And Jungkook replied quickly that it was champagne, not him. Of course, Jimin continued to say that Jungkook has really strong farts and powerful ones. And then Jungkook felt embarrassed and said that he was feeling good coming to Busan and all that, and asked why everyone was talking about farts. And then continued to say that armies also fart. Excuse me, Jungkook, which army is farting? I have never farted in my life. Jungkook should know that being married to me and all. Of course, Taeyang and Jimin shared the same sentiment and were like, armies don't fart. But this was definitely hilarious. I am curious if you caught this moment and thought it was funny too, and how goofy the boys get. Do you think Jungkook was embarrassed by the teasing? If someone teased me like this, I would probably cry laughing on the floor. I don't think Jungkook is as shy as the fandom makes him out to appear, and he definitely, I don't think, really cares about what others think about him, good or bad. There's a lot of rumors going around, and really, I don't think it bothers him at all. A lot of what being a celebrity is is just people assuming things that may or may not be true about the celebrity or the celebrity's friends. Rumors of Jung Kook's male lover relationship started to come back into the news after he came back from Qatar. So if you aren't aware, Jung Kook went to Qatar for the World Cup, and then while he was there, several fans spotted Jung Kook at a brand new luxury mall. They took some photos of Jung Kook at the Celine store, although no one caught if he actually bought anything. In fact, I don't even recall seeing him or his bodyguards hold any sort of shopping bag when they left. So I don't think he bought anything, but people were saying that he did. Taeyang and Jung Kook posted a Run BTS challenge right after Jung Kook had left Qatar. The challenge was believed to have been filmed at a hotel courtyard or patio area. The video was mostly just two silhouettes, and you really couldn't see much detail. However, since when has that stopped ARMY? They will literally brighten the photo, add contrast, and somehow the photo is in 4K and they have all the details. And thus it was noticed that Taeyang was wearing a Celine hoodie, specifically one that had the white word Celine right on the hood part. This was interpreted as something Jung Kook bought for Taeyang, and this was supposed to mean that Jung Kook was buying gifts for a quote-unquote lover. But Taeyang is also a big lover of Celine. If Jung Kook did buy something, of course he would go and pick something up for his fellow member or bandmate. Or maybe Taeyang texted Jung Kook and was like, can you pick up this sweater while you're in Qatar because it's all sold out online? Who actually knows? But the rumors don't end there, because apparently someone found out exactly which hotel Taeyang and Jung Kook were staying at and what room. The specific hotel, I guess if you've stayed there before, wouldn't be too hard to locate, called Paradise City Hotel. The specific room is definitely not hard to locate because it's actually famous. And by locate, I don't mean book, because apparently this room requires people to escort you there because it's so far off that you will actually get lost if you try to find it yourself. The room that Taeyang and Jung Kook stayed in was allegedly the same room used in Singles Inferno, and I assume it's very expensive. This room is also so far away from the normal peasant rooms. No, but the rooms at this place are all very nice. This particular one is just a penthouse sort of thing, and since it's way off from the normal rooms, it gives privacy to any CEOs or celebrities that may want that. And if this was filmed on Singles Inferno, it gives the cast and crew some privacy. Now, it was talked about how this specific room only has 2 beds, so they were saying that Jung Kook and Taeyang were alone together in this hotel room, and that they were lovers being in the same room. But this is not your ordinary room. This is a huge room with probably separate bathrooms and all that. Probably big enough where if Jung Kook and Taeyang never wanted to see each other, they wouldn't really need to. And also rumors of the fact that since it was just the 2 of them, that makes no sense because there's 2 beds. It's not like they were sleeping in the same bed. And if they were in a room with literally just 1 bed, then that's a little kind of sus, especially since they have the money to not do that. But perhaps Jung Kook wanted to celebrate his Qatar performance with someone. Given Jin is busy, RM was likely finishing up the album, and then Suga and Jimin may be working on their album, and J-Hope had a bunch of random stuff that happened, right? But Taeyang was the only one that had just gotten back from Paris, so he might have been the only one that had a free moment to celebrate with Cookie. And thus they decided to check out this really famous and gorgeous hotel. I'm glad that they had a good time and got to celebrate and create a beautiful piece of work to add to the challenge. Taeyang also never got to fully do the challenge, so this was his entry to the Run BTS challenge. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.